All right, guys, so this video is just going to be the last one before I watch the election with you guys. No clue what's going to happen yet, so we'll see. This one's going to be essentially just talking about Trump. And of course, off the rip, I just want to let you guys know this. I don't think anybody out there agrees with the way he speaks or in the mannerism that he speaks. But when it comes down to policies, he did his job as an elected official. I think he's achieved more in 3 years than most presidents in my lifetime have, and that's even going back to Bill Clinton. So to start off with, let's talk about what he's done internationally, because the foreign affairs is what really matters. I love the fact that he's one of the only presidents to really put pressure on China. To me, China is America's biggest threat, more than Russia, more than anyone else. They're manipulating their currency, and if you don't know what that means, it's basically they take in money from everybody else, and that means your currency would go up. But what they do is just print more money to keep their currency down, so they keep everyone's jobs in-house. Then they buy up favors with that money, with our money that we put there, that the money that they don't let circulate into their economy, all over Africa. They're buying up favors all over next to their neighboring countries. They're building the Silk Road. They're going to be the fall of America, because if we keep going the way we do, they're going to take over as at least half of the world's reserve currency. Every 4 years, we have a changing, cycle of politicians. Actually, every 2 years. Over there, there's one man, there's one rule, and that's Xi Jinping. And there's nothing going to stop him. They're organ harvesting. They're locking up Christians. They're locking up Muslims. And, no one's really saying anything about it because everyone's pockets are getting filled. To be fair, there's no such thing as a completely honest politician. So I'm going to, obviously try to speak the truth of the truth that I know. So, yeah, Hunter Biden took money from Ukraine and Russia and probably China. And, so did Jared Kushner for his 666 Park Avenue property from the Saudi Arabian Wealth Fund. It's just the name of the game. We have to look at as just regular old people is who's still going to lay out the best policies, who's going to give us the best chance to succeed. And I think Trump did one hell of a job with that. He made us energy independent. He kept us out of Syria. He's starting to bring all the troops home, more than anyone's bought. And I think if he were to get elected the second term, I think he'd probably bring almost all the troops home. We don't have to kill our sons and daughters anymore for energy. We can make it here. He shored up the border. I mean, people don't want to admit it, but here's the truth of the matter about immigration. I want to help every other person in the world. I think everybody does. That's just called being a good person. But the fact of the matter is, guys, we can't bring everybody over here. And if you're like, well, why not? Well, because we just don't have that much room for our system. And we have to figure out who they are. And what do I mean by their system? What do I mean by our system? If we were to bring every single kid from every single impoverished area into America, we do not have the classroom seats to educate those people. We already face a 3 million unit housing crisis for our American citizens. Imagine bringing in more people. How are we going to find housing? How much stress can we put on the system? That's why immigration is important. It's unfair. But if you feel that you're privileged, if you feel you have a great opportunity to succeed here, great, do it. Do the most you can. Work your ass off until you're 40. Take care of your kids, take care of your family. Then the excess money that you have, instead of buying that Gucci bag or taking that $10,000 European trip, put it toward charity. Start a fund. Help out other countries. That's how you could do better. Once again, my opinion. Also, Trump elected or appointed 2 Supreme Court justices that are going to protect our constitutional rights. Hopefully, the Supreme Court stays intact and we can see it to fruition. He also elected a record number of judges. He also funded historically black colleges that they never have to come back. On top of that, one of my favorite economic policies of his were opportunity zones. And what are opportunity zones? You see him talk about it a lot, but nothing was ever broken down. What an opportunity zone is let's say you have a place in the ghetto. It's been depleted, bombed down and depleted, right? You, as an investor, if that state and that city take advantage of the opportunity zone, it's a tax code. what happens is, let's say me and you wanted to get together and we, take over like a downtown property. Let's say in the middle of Chirac, really bad area, but it's labeled as an opportunity zone. We could build a hotel there. We could build restaurants there. We could build a car wash. We could build something of economic value. We'll get the property for cheap, and we have to keep it for 10 years. If we keep it for 10 years and we employ people in the local area, because no one's going to go on the other side of town to work, we're employing people in the local area, we're bringing taxes and sales tax in, making that area better. After the 10 years is up, we could sell that property. We could sell that property with no capital gains. We get to keep all the money. But everyone benefits. Why does everyone benefit? Because if we took a $100,000 property and we made it worth $1 million, then we walk away, we had to keep it at that level for 10 years. Then the next person that buys it for $1 million, they start paying property tax for $1 million. And then we get $1 million tax-free, no government involvement. And we could take that money and put it into other investment, create more jobs, create more products, create more services. It's been a very, very effective policy. It is one of the reasons it helped the Black and Hispanic unemployment rate stay low before the pandemic. So there's that. And then the climate accord. Everybody wants a clean environment. But the problem is China and India aren't going to listen. And China and India weren't playing fair. They weren't going to have to abide by those regulations to 2030. We were the ones that were going to take the blunt of it. It's not fair that we unemploy people because we want better humanity, yet they continue to waste on the planet. Not much we could do about that. He also made the UN start to pay their fair share. I don't know about you, but as a taxpayer, it kind of sucks. It's kind of like if you had a friend and you were always paying for their drink, and they say they get you back, but they never get you back. It gets to a certain point, they're like, hey, are you my friend or are you just using me? It's the only example I could really give off the top of my head. All the other policies that he enacted, criminal justice reform, which I think he's still going to build on, that's a huge, huge problem in between that we need to fix. But it's a start. It's something a lot of presidents have talked about but never done. And all throughout his presidency, he has nothing but ridicule and has nothing but attacks left and right, all of which no one's been able to prove anything. But from day one, he's never had a fair chance. But he took it on, and he's made this country better. I believe he's made this country better. I feel safer under a Trump administration. That's me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in this election. We'll see what happens in the outcome of it. And like I said before, if the Harris administration takes over, that's fine. I'll respect them because I respect the office, and I hope they carry it out in a respectful manner. And I will open any legislation they have to benefit all Americans, as long as I think it's going to be fair for all Americans, and it's ultimately going to be what's best for America. My biggest problem with this administration that might be coming in is how are they going to handle China? It is like literally the thing that keeps me up at night. I love the way I live as an American. I want to protect that. And sometimes we have to take short-term losses in order to ensure long-term gains. And I am deeply disturbed about the level of influence, you could say, that administrations like the FBI have and our intelligence agencies have that are been politicized. They shouldn't be politicized. And I feel if Trump would have gotten, or is going to get, one more term, he could fix those things. So if you ask me why I voted for Trump, if you ask me what it is that I believe, it's these things. Yeah, gun rights to me are important, but I also believe in common sense gun laws. We should have background checks. And, that's pretty much what I agree with. If you're kind of crazy, you shouldn't be able to own a gun. So it's not on the top level for me. My level is really protecting America long term. And I think Trump would have been the guy to do that. We'll see what Biden does. Maybe the second time around, he'll do better. Maybe he won't just give cash to our enemies and just hope for the best. That's yet to be remain to be seen. As far as stocks and bonds and everything go, once again, we'll have to wait for the outcome. I don't agree with a 30% tax plan. I think that's the last thing, or 27% corporate tax, or 28, whatever it was. I think that's the last thing we need in a time that we're in right now. But once again, we'll see the outcomes. These are just my 2 cents. If you agree with them, then you kind of understand where I'm coming from. If you don't, hey, I'm sorry you don't, agree with me. I don't really know what else to say, but I think I'm attacking this from a very logical and rational standpoint. I understand you might not like the man, you might not like the way he delivers the message, but it's kind of like having an employee that kind of rubs you the wrong way, or having a coworker that kind of rubs you the wrong way, but they do one hell of a job. And I have to say, Trump has done one hell of a job. So if I lose followers on this, oh well, this is just my opinion. If you watch this far, then I hope I kind of shed some light in some areas, in some aspects. And let's see what happens tonight. Just, be safe. And, well, I mean, really, guys, we'll see what happens, right? It's a crazy time. If you like this video, please share it. Help me grow the account. Take care, guys.